I've been seeing a little different side of Shane's that I just want to, bring to light.
Okay. Slide over one more. Yeah. Or you can sit right there on that couch. No, nobody's sitting there. That is Donnie's child. Or you put your bag somewhere just so that nobody sit there.
Oh, that's your daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, what up?
You don't see it? You see it, right?
I mean, her head's covered by the camera. Oh,
Yeah.
what's up? I see a little mini Donnie. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Mommy.
Everything about her is Donnie. Or everything about Donnie is Deja. You never know.
Yeah, she changed me.
That one. That way.
Yeah, please. Thank you.
All right. What's that? Coffee from Starbucks?
Little caramel macchiato.
See, that's how you know
Y'all
that's how you know
think-
you're getting money. Like you just start ordering shit you can't pronounce.
Nah. You know you get money when you ask somebody else if they want something. You know what I mean? Which they didn't.
So,
Oh, I just see
You see
what
I'm saying?
happened.
You feel me?
I just see what happened.
David,
And
I've
then,
asked you twice.
And then Bree comes in with the little whatever
carrier?
that is. Yeah, she had 2 drinks and I didn't say nothing.
So the thing is,
Nobody asked me.
I've asked you twice before if
Keep
you went to
asking me.
Starbucks.
That's like because somebody, you ask me if you want to go out to this joint with me. I say no twice. You're not going to invite me ever again?
She definitely asked me if I could come 2 days earlier, but didn't even ask me if I wanted a coffee. That's crazy.
See what I'm saying?
Dang. All right,
You know,
bet.
things are,
Bet.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to go to
one of them
Denver.
things. No? Them hotels?
No, not even that. I just have stuff to do.
It'd be like that. Yeah.
I haven't even looked at the hotels. Were they expensive?
No, they're all $160.
Oh, I don't want to stay in that.
But I was talking. Let me see Donnie's.
Hey,
So-
Brie. Never mind.
Just zoom in a little bit on hers. Just a little bit. All right, let me see Donnie.
Hey,
All right, that's
hey,
cool.
me. I'm so much littler than you.
That was the angle. We'll work on it. All right, let's do it. Let's do this.
Oh, let's
A little
do
shaky.
it.
me see,
Hey. Is the clock running on purpose already?
You see the middle angle? Yeah.
Dave, pick up that water bottle by your foot.
Oh,
Other
is that balanced or is it shooting down, Reese?
It does look down. My money up. Now I can't ran up in the spot just to get my.
Let's do this.
Are we ready?
Matt Waters.
You look so disheveled.
Is today another spontaneous conversation or
Is there something you want to talk about?
No. I just want to be mentally prepared. I should have asked this in the memo.
So we haven't seen you in a while. We're gonna catch up with you.
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
I appreciate it.
Welcome to another edition of Social Proof, where we interview dope entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things. My name is Donnie Wiggins, your favorite business coach. How do I know I'm your favorite business coach? Because I just told you that I am. And I'm sitting here with
David, man, I am a podcaster. And I'm nervous because Brian, I don't know. What are you up to, man?
we have Brian back, y'all.
Yeah,
Give it up.
man.
Wherever you're watching this right now, give it up for Brian coming back to the
appreciate
audience
that.
right
I
now.
appreciate that.
It's
Mr.
been a
Walter.
minute since we had our cousin here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
What's up, man?
Dude, I'm feeling absolutely amazing, man. Just moved new city. Business
Welcome
doing
to
bigger
Atlanta.
things. I appreciate it. Business doing bigger things. I'm just super excited what the next couple months is going to look like. Different environment, but the same strong entrepreneur just in a different environment. I'm super excited.
Why Atlanta? Why'd you move?
I just know a lot more like-minded people. Like I lived in New York all my life, and it's just like New York's a great city. Like you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. But the thing about it is that there's just really not too many young entrepreneurs out there, and just Atlanta was the mecca for that. You know what I'm saying? I felt like I didn't have people on my contact list that I could just be like, hey, bro, let's go mastermind real quick, or everything was like it's either the club or like you stay at home.
Yeah.
So for me to really just kind of be in my environment that I wanted to, that I felt was conducive to what I needed to do, I felt this was a city. And also just rent prices overall. Like New York is just ridiculous.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Like the same apartment that I'm at now is probably would have been triple in New
I'm
York.
curious. Did you find an apartment or like a condo?
It's an apartment, but it's in like a high-rise building. Yeah.
How much did you find something for? Because I'm in the market right now, and everything's starting with a 6. Maybe it's just me.
Yeah. So I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, about 1,300 square feet, 1,350 square feet for about 3,800.
I'll ask you the building offline.
You're not gonna want to stay there.
It's amazing, and I toured about 12 apartments.
You know
before.
what? You know where he's staying?
No, but based on the price,
B, text me real quick.
there's gonna be
making
something. There's gonna be something about that building that you don't like. It's either the place or area.
I'll tell you this much: my girl picked it. So
You got your phone?
Yeah.
Will you just text me the spot real quick?
damn, right now?
Yeah, because they're literally making appointments for me right
no,
now. I am in desperate need for a new home.
Yeah.
I am feeling closed in by all of the dark mahogany red oak wood and all that. I need something new and vibrant, and I've been in my current building for 9 years. I have not been in the same place for 9 years ever.
Not building, but like area.
Atlantic Station. I love the area. Okay. I wish there was a renovated unit in my building. That
Atlantic
would be
Station
the answer.
Area, not Atlantic State, not the little area.
Right, I got you.
Yeah,
I'm in
not that part.
No, I'm in Midtown, like Midtown.
That's what I need. Yeah. You sent me the building?
Yeah, I just said it to you. I'm in Midtown.
Are you familiar with the building?
See.
I told you, right? The numbers ain't right. It's
what
just
you
not
mean?
Right.
Why are you trying to shade me on a pod?
No. So it's actually the competitor to the #1 building on my list right now.
Which is what?
Novel.
I know Novel. I saw Novel.
Love it. But these are just too small. I got me, another grown person, and the way the bedrooms are set up, we're not far enough apart.
How much square feet you looking for?
Hold on. First off, can we talk about something entrepreneurial?
This is entrepreneurial.
Entrepreneurial.
This is decision making. This is
decision making in real time.
Listen,
so I'm currently in 1,700 square feet.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom?
You care?
2-bedroom, 2.5 baths.
Okay, that makes sense.
That building doesn't have a half bath.
Do you care at all?
Probably not.
Who cares? Yeah. Why don't y'all talk about this later?
But it's a gorgeous building.
Welcome to Atlanta. Okay.
he's a hater because he's not looking for a condo. He wants one though.
I do.
Yes.
I do. You have event spaces.
Yeah, so I actually I recently just sold the last brick and mortar one. So I'm completely out of the brick and mortar space and we're completely online now. I made a YouTube video on it.
Wait a minute. Event spaces online?
So like the consulting program. So I was in the brick and mortar for 5 years, and July 1st I sold my last one.
Okay.
Before moving to Atlanta, and now we just focus 100% on Event Space Elites online.
Why did you want to get out of the brick and mortar side of it?
It was really a focus thing for me, like just kind of looking at what it took for me to do the kind of numbers that I wanted to do as an entrepreneur overall. I wasn't prepared to do the work that was required to do that in that type of business.
Will you ever get back into the brick and mortar? Like now that you're in Atlanta, you're planning, will you look at some space here?
If I did, it would only be to purchase. Like I would own the building, which I do now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that what you do now? What do you mean?
Like I own property with event spaces that I rent out to other people.
Oh, so you buy the event space and then
now I do. Yeah, I buy the buildings and I'll just rent it out to one of my clients in Event Space Elites.
Got it. All right. So here's the thing. I gotta say this. So some people could look at that as getting out of the business just to teach it, and if the business is such a good business,
right?
Why are you just going to teach
100%. And that's actually the reason why I didn't do it for a very long time. I made a whole YouTube video on it, on everything, because I'm just like, my biggest identity crisis was like, how can I truly teach something that I don't actively do anymore? And it just kind of came to a point where I'm just like, I'm sacrificing what I want for what other people think, and that's not wise and fair to me. Because the thing about it is just like, I'm projecting that other people are looking at it like, oh, well, he doesn't have event-based business. Like, how can he teach it? When truthfully, that's not the truth, because I've already mastered that. I can go farther if I wanted to go farther, but it was an internal choice of mine to stop doing it for something better. It's kind of like when they say like, God has to take something away from you to give you something much better. I didn't even wait for that. I did it for myself. So I'm like, I'm going to take this away from myself so I can focus it. We did $150,000, $200,000 a month in event spaces. Like, people don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So the proof of concept had already been established. I didn't have to prove anything. This is all documented. I didn't have anything else to prove. So for me, it was really just like, I can't keep running I wasn't a mature enough entrepreneur at that point to run like, I'm not Elon Musk. I can't run Tesla, SpaceX. Like, I can't do that. I don't have the team. I don't have the bandwidth for that right now. If I really want to see a particular business flourish, I have to do that. And then by running Event Space Elites more so now, I realized that I'm learning at even such a faster pace because instead of just one venue in New York, I'm learning at the speed of 30 venues at a time across the nationwide. So like we have an entire full-blown roadmap now. We have 2 softwares coming out. I literally just got off the meeting with one of my software developers where we're iterating at such a fast pace because we're learning at such a fast pace.
Got it.
You feel me?
I think I was projecting my thoughts, or that would be something.
Oh yeah, we gonna get on your thoughts. You've been
That would be
active on
something
social
I-
media lately. We gonna get on that.
Active. I've not been any more active than normal.
Before we even transition into that, that's a real thing because right now, even from if it works so well, why'd you quit? Outside of that, the coaching and the consulting space in our lane is changing like rapidly.
Absolutely.
Are you not concerned about not actively running the business to kind of support the income that you be getting from a consulting perspective?
Not anymore at all, because the thing of as an income standpoint or as like a proof of concept fraudulent standpoint.
Oh no.
Just
More from an income standpoint. Like people are not buying as many courses, they're not hiring as many coaches because of all the fraud that's happened or scam allegations that's happened. People are
or not even that. They've paid many coaches. They
and they
realize
paid.
that they're not going to do the stuff to the coach.
and
They're not gonna do it.
that's actually the number one thing. People have invested in coaching and they're not executing. So are you not concerned at all?
None whatsoever. That was probably my least concern because we focus so much on product development. Like I was just talking to a close JP. We was talking about it, and it was just like most people focus on the marketing of a business instead of focusing on the product, not realizing that the product is going to market the business best of all. So like we focus so heavily on product development. Like I study this, offer development, like Alex Hormozi, like I study that stuff. And my biggest goal and a lot of things that people tell me about our program is that like we can actually see that you care. Cause I do. Like we've put in like inexplicit guarantees for people that we didn't even have to do just because we want to see people win. And it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, we knew your program was 3 months, but like you're right there. Let's finish this. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Every single thing that goes into our roadmap, every single thing that goes into a software is with our clients in mind. So I'm not worried at all. Like the only way you cannot succeed in our program is if you just don't do it.
Yeah.
Like, and we've had that.
I'm like, that's the thing though.
We've
People are
had
just
people
not
like
doing
legit
it.
fall off the map, and like I would literally call them with my phone and be like, "Yo, bro, like where you at? Like I'm not seeing you. Can you like talk to me on Slack? Like what's up, bro?" And like that's really the only time. But like once you're committed, we're committed even more than you.
Yeah. I mean, people aren't going to stop people aren't going to stop needing help. So yeah, if you have an amazing product,
Which we do, yeah.
you're going hard at pushing it, and I think
So
you'll
the
be
product
fine.
specifically focuses on what?
So right now, our mission is basically to help people find, fund, and fill their event space at $10,000 in sales within 90 days. And that's our guarantee now. And then we're launching our graduate program now, Scale Your Venue, which is to help you get from 10K to 25K, 50K and onwards with your event space. And then once we right now, that's like really our only focus right now. We're just super focused
We
on
actually
that.
did a podcast event, David and I, in one of your event spaces in New York.
Yeah, I know. She told me.
Yeah.
She told me you sold it.
We
You
know
sold it
that
to her.
Yeah.
you sold it to her, so we do know one of your real students in real life who actually got an event space and was actually doing events. And once I think it was a newer kind of transaction that had recently happened, but she is in an area, well, the building itself, the way it's structured, if they really put some elbow grease into that building, she'd have a really, really fly,
100%.
like super fly event
100%.
space.
100%. Yeah. And that's like testimonial right there. And that's the thing about it. Like we have so much like built up social proof that it's just like anybody who even remotely tried to like accuse us of like scamming or fraud or anything is just like, bro, read the room. Like where, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Have you been attacked at all?
no, I had one dude the other day cause I was the first one. Cause like I said, like I had that whole identity crisis of like, all right, should I do this? So I was the first one to say I sold all my event spaces. Like you're not about to out me or anything like that. You feel me? Like I put it on YouTube. I sold all my event spaces, made a video on it and everything like that. And then one dude, which was funny enough, like he exposed himself cause he actually tried to join our program and got denied cause we don't approve everybody. And he like tried to post something on his story. He's just like, look, he's posting publicly that he's a fraud. I DM'd him so quick, like, bro, you're not about to play with me, dog.
Wait a minute. You denied him, so he's ticked off with you, but most people are accepting everybody into their
Can't do that.
program. What's the criteria for someone to not be approved?
Yeah, absolutely. So you need, first and foremost, because part of our programs that we help you get the funding, and obviously funding is based on credit.
Got you.
So we have a minimum 650 credit score to join, which is actually going up to 680. Because we get like I can fund more people than like half these funding companies. It's proven. We have a whole.
Y'all are funding.
Yeah.
And are you reporting to their credit if they don't?
No, we don't. Sorry, we don't fund them internally. We
Have a funding partner.
Yeah, not even. We review their credit report and we give them a personalized assessment. Like, all right, cool. Based on your credit report, you have the highest likelihood of approval of these cards and these banks. So that's what we do.
So is that helping them get business credit?
Business and personal, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, like, say for example, you join the program, right? One of the first things that's in our roadmap is like, hey Donnie, send me a copy of your credit report from the Experian website, right? We need a FICO. So what we do is I have my credit specialist. I used to do it, but now I have my full-time credit specialist who does it for me, and she'll review your entire credit report. We have this full Google sheet that analyzes your credit report. It'll look at your utilization, your inquiries, your derogatory marks, your credit score, blah 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 blah, and then based on all that information, the 5 factors of credit, it'll say, all right, cool, you have the highest approval odds for these credit cards. And then you just got to go and apply.
Gotcha.
Like literally last week alone, we funded about $250,000.
Okay. Okay.
That's lit. So business is good.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Just
this year better than last year.
100%
or less.
100%. About 2.5, 3 times better right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're leaning away from the
Focus
space?
and product development.
Yeah.
I cut out everything else. One of the signs of an immature entrepreneur is somebody who cannot decide on one thing, and that was me.
That's true.
I was literally the brokest in my life when I focus on multiple streams of income. And I know that's very, very taboo.
Dang.
I know that's very, very taboo. But like, as anybody, I don't even know what camera to look at, but like anybody who's, that one right there, anybody who's watching this video, like, I don't care if you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old. If you are trying to make it in life, become world class at one thing. Like, that's the best advice. Like, I know you don't know me. I probably don't know you, but like, that's like the best advice I can possibly give you right now.
I hate that it's so cliche.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? I hate that. Like,
It's actually not cliche. It's not.
It is, bro. Like, if you think, hey, focus on one thing. In the entrepreneurial community, we've heard that, yes? Have you heard that? You've heard?
For sure.
In the entrepreneurial community, we've heard that. Focus on one thing. It's just not common that someone actually does it because we have so many desires and there's so many things we want to do. And I think people take it as, oh, you think
I can't focus on multiple things, yeah.
Well, not even that. So, I mean, when you set out to be an entrepreneur, it's like you have bills. You have real stuff happening in real time. So you're like, okay, I'm going to run this Turo business while I do Airbnb, but my main focus is this. I hear that all the time, but I agree with you. So though I have multiple streams of income today, I had to get really, 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 really good at being a business coach because I understood that that's what I wanted to do most of. I couldn't just keep piecing stuff together. Yeah. When I was doing all these multiple streams of income, like, I won't say that I was the brokest I'd ever been because zero, I literally hit that. That was the brokest. But I definitely never moved out of the phase of thinking about how I'm going to make the next dollar. That focus will change your life.
Yeah. So, and I guess multiple streams are helpful. It's just trying to focus on them all. And here's what I think. I think that you can become financially successful by doing multiple things.
Sure.
You'll just be exhausted and you'll never really reach the potential of where you can go if you put all your energy into one thing. So that's cool. All right. So Atlanta, you're happy here last 2 days?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. And what are you hoping that happens in Atlanta?
I just really want to be in more conversations. I really want to be connected with more people who are doing things at a much higher level than me. And New York just wasn't the place for that. Like, New York, it was just like if you're an entrepreneur, you black, you young, it's just like, what are you doing?
But there's entrepreneurs in New York.
I'm not saying there aren't, just not nearly at the scale of Atlanta.
I don't know. I think people see what we do on social media. Like, Atlanta has definitely created more of a community of entrepreneurs. And I would definitely say that there are a couple of different cliques of entrepreneurs in Atlanta. And I don't know if it's like my algorithm because I'm in Atlanta that doesn't show the LA community and the New York community, but I don't see that anywhere, though we know that it does exist.
Yeah, it's a variety of factors because, a combination of factors, because the thing about it is just like in terms of like bigger cities, like we got New York, we got Miami, we got Atlanta, we got Houston, we got LA, right? And we got Vegas too, right? And then if you think about price point, like, all right, cool. What are the most affordables? Well, Las Vegas is out, LA is out, New York is out. So we have Miami, we have Houston, and we have Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta, for me, I knew the most people. So it just made sense for me.
I don't think Miami has that entrepreneurial culture.
Miami has a lot of entrepreneurs.
I think it's a lot of entrepreneurs everywhere, but in terms of like the culture of entrepreneurs, like Atlanta, you're in the Uber with somebody, they're going to tell you about their business.
Yeah.
It's not like that in Miami. Like,
think about, I mean, like you go to Miami, there's like 1,000 jet ski companies, 1,000 car rental companies.
Yeah, but that's everywhere. You know what I mean? Think about LA. There's a lot of entrepreneurs in LA, but it's not an entrepreneurial theme city where if you're in a networking event, everybody's going to tell you about their business. That's what the conversation is about.
I'll tell you this much, from living in New York, it's a lot easier to start all these different businesses that we just spoke about everywhere else but New York and LA. I'll tell you that much. So that just kind of goes to show the barrier of entry is much lower. For example, you cannot do Turo in New York unless you have, like, and don't quote me on this, I'm not a Turo expert, I'm just reading the policy that they said, right? You can't do Turo in New York unless you are like a licensed car dealer. You can't do Airbnb in New York unless you own the building.
Dang.
So that's like two of the biggest side hustles of 2023, Ixnade, right there off the top.
I think Turo and Airbnb was the biggest lick of recent times.
While it lasted.
I
got a call 2 weeks ago. And my man, he said, yo, bro, I've been, he called and I missed the call. And I think he texted me, he's like, yo, I need to holler at you real quick. So I call him back. A couple days later, which is
what?
I don't know what it is, bro.
I really need to holler at you, and you call back.
Let me tell you, it's the weirdest thing. Like somebody called me, they'll call me like 4 days ago, or they'll send me a text like, yo, I need to talk to you, and I might miss it and forget about it. But like 4 days later, I remember, oh crap, I never hit so and so back, and I'll call. So it's not. Anyway, he calls me, and he was like, yo, do you know anybody that does Turo? And I'm like, no, actually. He's like, yo, I just got a parking lot by the airport. We got this service for Turo. Anybody that's doing Turo, if they want to drop it off at the airport, you could park it there. We'll wash the cars, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
And I was thinking, yo, that is an awesome idea 3 years ago. Everybody's doing Turo. 3 years ago.
I think there's still
it's not that the company's going away, but the hype of it it's gone, right? Even when you said, yo, I moved to Atlanta, and I was thinking to myself, it is going to be a better entrepreneurial scene, but if you're watching this, don't move to Atlanta because of what you saw over the last couple of years, because it's different.
It is.
If I'm being super honest, man, I know dozens of entrepreneurs in Atlanta that aren't doing what they were doing over the last couple of years. And here's one of my signs. When they start promoting credit repair, I'm like, yo, you fell off. I don't know why that is.
Wait, what?
It's the craziest thing. You were doing one thing, and now you're promoting I'll fix your credit.
Who's
it almost seems like, I don't know. It almost seems like
I'm about to drop a software, but
so let me tell
for credit repair.
Yeah. It was a young lady.
Apparently,
No. It was a young lady. It almost feels like the Burlington Coat Factory for
entrepreneurs. Where entrepreneurs go to die.
So here's the thing. This girl told me, and this was me being honest, and maybe it's just me. So
you've been on one lately.
I've been wanting to come. All right, we'll talk about it. You want to talk about it so bad. She was like, y'all been wanting to come on the podcast. And I told her, honestly, last year, I saw you promoting that you could fix people's credit. But that wasn't what you were doing a couple years ago. Like, you are this person that's doing this particular thing. And then I saw you promoting credit repair. And I'm like, oh, you're pivoting because it seems like that thing doesn't work. And now I'm going to fix people's credit. It just, I don't know.
I want to know who it is.
I could be wrong.
So do I.
I could be wrong.
It's wild
I told the person.
Side text me.
No. I'm not going to do that.
David's been on one. What you mean, B?
Oh, no, just his recent encounters with budding entrepreneurs have been very, very transparent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is?
The hot seat.
I'm not going to lie. I was like low-key worried. I was like, is he going to put me in one of those? But like, I was prepared. Like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready.
Let me go through the checklist before I show up.
I'll bring out P&Ls. Like, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? But no, I was definitely surprised when I saw the first one where the dude had like the production company, and I commented, I'm just like, yo, this is a different side of Shans. And I'm just like, yo, why is he talking to people like this?
Crazy.
I'm like, bro, like you really like grilling them. This is like some New York behavior. Like he's really. And then when I saw the one with the business consultant, my jaw dropped, bro.
Who was the business consultant?
When he's like, doesn't that make you a fraud? I'm like, bro, I lost it. I mean, like, I didn't disagree with you, but I was like, on public television.
But they know what they're signing up for when they come on that segment.
Oh, so it's like a thing. It wasn't impromptu.
What's your thoughts though? What were you thinking?
On the segment or like on those two particular people?
The segment about me, what were you thinking? You know me, and you're like, yo, this is surprising.
I mean, I do know that you are like you know BS. Like I get that. You know what I'm saying? As you should be. Like I don't like anybody really sugarcoating nothing with me. You feel what I'm saying? But just I guess to see it so on the big screen was like, wow, that's crazy. And then of course I don't know how well you know these people. So I'm just like, bro, like he's really ripping them apart right now. This is crazy. So I was surprised, but I'm just like I was like, some people really do need to hear this because they're selling themselves a lie every single day just to wake up in the morning. So it's like, if this is the way you need to learn and this is the way you need to hear it, so be it. Because clearly you could not self-identify.
Yeah. You got a mic? So Mike was on, okay? And,
him?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, bro. Speak your truth.
I want to hear your perspective.
Speak your truth, King.
No, I mean, listen, it's uncomfortable truths. But it lights a fire.
So first and foremost, I'm sorry to cut you off. What was the assessment? Just like to reset the room.
For myself, it was you've been inconsistent. Like it was a very honest conversation about my addiction to inconsistency. And here's a great thing that Dave has not said. I'm not going to spill all the secret sauce, but he said he enjoys actually, to a certain degree, being a bad guy. Because people did come to my defense. I've met people out who are like, "Yo, I saw, man, you ain't been inconsistent. I've been seeing you like, right?" So it allowed for interest. So it drove traffic to me. It also just reinforced, like, these are some blind spots, or these are some spaces that you're just being inauthentic. You're not being honest. And offline, it's encouragement. It's like, yo, before we had that conversation, man, you're going to be successful, because we were having a very in-depth conversation about my business. And he was just like, your convictions are going to carry you to success. So it's a little made for TV, which is great, but it also is, I want to ruffle your feathers. I want to provoke you, because if you're not thinking through these things, somebody else who does not have the best intentions could come for you, and now you're really going to be in a bad space. What happens when a YouTuber wants to break down your business and talk about how you're a fraud because you sold all your buildings, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, one person that I trust hit me with all those already. So I can hit you from A to Z and then back from Z to A, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see what you have to say there. So it was, for me, it was a powerful space, and because of him, and some other factors, I ended up having my best month right after.
He's not a bad guy, man. What are your thoughts when you saw him?
I love them. I love them. That's my style all day. I love them. And I love them not because it appears to be an attack on entrepreneurs. I love them because I think it will really, I know, because the direct approach is like my style. I know that it will actually produce more successful entrepreneurs because most people are used to being coddled or being given like just head nods, like, yep, I get it, I understand. And then those same people go and talk about them to somebody else behind their backs. Like nobody is giving real, direct, transparent advice to people because you're so afraid to hurt their feelings, or because you're going to people who are unqualified to really give you advice about your business. I think that approach is great. I think also that being that quick forces entrepreneurs to understand, you know what, I do need to think through these things. I think that those kind of conversations in the hot seat like that are also going to have people being more intentional about creating programs that are not full of fluff, or creating offers and business models that are not full of fluff. I love it.
Good. What's up, Chief?
Yeah, I have a question for you. How much of what David said were things that you had already thought of, but you never had anyone ask you those questions?
Give him the mic.
For me, this was more of almost like a life coaching session. So there were internal conversations that I had. But you need some. To me, I'm that same person. Like, give it to me straight. I may want to fight you.
Did you want to fight him?
No. I mean, well, we had
Yo, David tensed up. He was like,
No. Was there ever a moment that you wanted to be like, yo, he playing with me right now?
No, because here's the thing. I think that at some point, what you should do is record the preview conversations, and 10 years later, like right after after you've already been there, to have some of these breakdown conversations of why we get there. Because what he's doing in pre-production is assessing certain things. And then his mind is working to say, okay, here's where I'm going to touch. Here's the touch point. So when I was talking about what I offer, he was like, I felt like he was like, I can't really come from here. He knows what he's talking about here. And this is going to not be as confrontational and conversational and entertaining as if we have this other space where I can actually help him, one, but two, poke some buttons that are going to make him uncomfortable. And anytime somebody wants to like be combative, to me there's some level of disillusionment from what we talked about earlier today, or you are afraid of being exposed, or you just don't know. And so that exposure, that light can be something that then creates discomfort, and you have that fight, flight, or freeze response.
Yeah, I think that what you said is kind of the reaction that I'm looking for. Like, I want you, when you was like, yo, he is on one. And you might have sent it to somebody or said something to somebody else like, yo, you seen this? And that's the goal, right? There was shouts out to Jan. She said her and her friends were sitting around. She was like, she was going back and forth with her friends. Some of them think they're paid actors. Like, or the whole thing is staged. Cause like, why would somebody talk to somebody like that, right? But I'm looking at the trends of what's happening. There was a period where we will watch fight videos or gossip stuff. And then the world kind of transitioned into motivation. It wasn't always motivational quotes on our timeline, on Twitter, let's say. It wasn't always like that. But around the 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, we see motivation and inspiration. This is what we're sharing with each other. And then we got more information now, right? So now we have the people that are making the parodies of the podcast entrepreneurs saying, okay, so first all you got to do is go get a monkey. You get that monkey, you sell the monkey, okay? You buy the monkey back.
I want to make one of those so bad.
Right. But it's only something you want to make because it's our reality right now, and that's what's trending. But what I'm seeing now is information and motivation isn't going to be the next wave. I think the next wave is reality and transparency. Lifestyle marketing isn't as as hailed or looked at like, oh, I want to. People aren't doing lifestyle marketing as much because it's not what sells. You'll see a lot of super successful entrepreneurs being more real and more transparent now. So that's where we're pivoting to. Do you see what I'm saying in that way?
I mean, I definitely, because of like the whole like, you know, scam culture coming up, I think it definitely pushed that narrative, because now it's just like people are on the fence about all these different gurus and coaches and stuff like that. So they're looking for real. So that's just gonna be like, people are gonna look for a lot more upfront value.
Yeah.
Now, like when I dropped my entire course for free on YouTube, it came at like the perfect time. Because like all that stuff with like, I mean, I don't even want to drop no names, but like a whole lot of like expose was coming out. So like when I put that, I'm just like, man, I don't even need, like, this is the same stuff I used to sell for 2 bands here. Everybody's just like, oh, and like when I'm getting so many testimonials from it, it just kind of pushed the narrative like, all right, cool. People really want to build with somebody who's real and who's really doing it.
What was your strategy behind doing that, dropping your course for free?
Yeah. So, I mean, the biggest thing is just like, I wanted to build trust. So like I wanted people to know very, very quickly that I know what I'm talking about. So it's like I wanted to give away the information and just really just focus on the implementation. Because at that point, it's just like, I'm not selling you, you need this. At least that's what you tell yourself.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you have the information. You want to go do it yourself. Like, I'm not going to tell you how long it's going to take or whatever the case may be, because that's on you. But now it's like, you know, based on the information, that this is going to be way past your element. We're the experts that can help you get it done a lot quicker. So that was really the rationale, just to kind of like build that trust, show that authority, and it worked like a charm.
Are you looking at it from a, I don't want to know if the word rebranding is a proper fit for what I'm trying to say, but in terms of you creating a different narrative about who you are over time, do you feel that's important at all?
To an extent. I feel like, do I feel like that's important? If necessary. If it's not, like, I don't feel like I have to rebrand myself. Like, I'm still Brian Waldron, billionaire B, kid from New York. Like, I don't feel the need to rebrand. Like, nothing happened in my life for me to need to rebrand myself.
Yeah.
If that happens unintentionally by some business change or whatever, then okay. Because like, by me selling all my event spaces, that in a way kind of like rebrands myself in a way, because now it's like, all right, cool. He's a coach. He's not really an event space owner, which technically I guess I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Have I helped hundreds of other people do it? 100%. So I guess in a way that was like an unintentional rebrand, but like, I don't feel, me personally, like I have to do that right now. There's really no need.
What do you think on rebranding?
I don't think rebranding is necessary. I think this is just the evolution of his business model.
Yeah, 100%. Like, you grow as an entrepreneur. And I mean, to an extent, that is a rebrand in itself. Like you said, like some people, like their stuff hits the fan and they go back into credit repair. You know what I'm saying? That like, that's a rebrand, but just obviously in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying? Just obviously in the wrong direction.
Right.
But as opposed to like you, like I might eventually sell event space leads, who knows? And I might focus on helping people become coaches, who knows? You know what I'm saying? That's a rebrand in itself. But the way I look at it is just, I'm just growing as an entrepreneur. This chapter of my life is over. Like I don't live in New York anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a New Yorker.
I think I look at it as, I think people want an upgraded version or something to get people to talk again. So we think about how many times have Diddy rebranded, he renamed himself.
Couple times. Puff Daddy.
Oh, for
P.
sure.
Diddy.
He's Love now.
Love.
Drake, he pushed the envelope, right? So he, making this rap, but then he dropped the album of the whole little disco techno type situation, and now he's back with a whole nother blend, and he's braiding his hair now, half braided, half unbraided, bigger clothes, like it's a whole nother look. 2 Chainz, he went from
Titty Boy.
He had a butt hair weave killer, all that. I think in every time he does it, 2 Chainz specifically, every time he does it, it keeps him relevant.
So I think Titty Boy, that was Future's. 2 Chainz' very first name, by the way. But I think that he is the only one that you mentioned that has actually gone through a rebrand. Maybe even Diddy. But I think Drake is just evolving into who he is or who he wants to be.
I think evolving is a good word for it.
Yeah.
But I still think evolving, just letting people know that you are still here and you're evolving. Because it's easy to keep doing the same thing and you're growing, but from the outside, people don't see that anything's different than what you were doing last year.
Yeah.
Might have been making more money, you might be, but for me, I'm always trying to stay. I want to be fresh. I don't want people to think that they know my next move and I'm doing the same thing all the time.
I don't know that that's a rebrand though. So 2 Chainz, for example, he was Titty Boy when he was a dope boy out here in these streets. And then when he started to he started rapping as Titty Boy, but then when he started to move out of the dope industry and really moved into music and now becoming a family man, it became 2 Chainz. Diddy had to go from Puff Daddy to all these things because he established a really bad reputation, from a business perspective. So he sat out a minute and then he came back as somebody different. So when he did that, it's okay, what's changed? Is he a better businessman, or are people, experiencing better experiences with him? It's kind of that. With you or Drake or somebody else, we're looking for these small changes in how the current thing keeps getting better. Not different.
Yes, I agree. I mean, it could be different though.
I don't know if it's Diddy is different. He's not producing records like that. He's not Bad Boy Records. He was synonymous with Bad Boy Records, right? Mm-hmm. Titty Boy was synonymous with a dope boy who rapped. Mm-hmm. They became very different people and made very different changes. It's David will need to rebrand if David is coming out now and all you're wearing are suits and you've dyed your hair blonde, be over here and you're speaking very differently. Or I mean, you could add hair. Anyway, those things would be a rebrand.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe rebrand. Again, maybe rebrand isn't the right word, but I think we gotta pop out and be doing something that makes people say, yo, y'all saw what B was doing? And maybe not, Jay-Z, right? You go from rapping about drugs and then he becomes this playboy player, right? I got all this money. And then he becomes conscious.
Wealth conscious, yeah.
He definitely rebranded.
Sure.
Yeah, Jay-Z was a mixture of rebrand and evolution.
Yeah.
And that's when you start changing. At one point, he's I'm done with this rap thing. I'm a businessman. I am the businessman. He went from the dope boy to the rapper to the husband, the father, the businessman. So I think a lot of what he's done too, and Jay went from T-shirts down to his knees to suits. And now he's back to sweatpants.
It's mauve.
Yeah, for sure. Grew his hair out. Mm-hmm. In terms of, how do you see your brand? You know what I mean? Do you see yourself doing anything that's wowing your audience?
Right now?
Or do you feel like that's not important?
I do feel it's important because Donnie said, and I feel we're all kind of saying the same thing. There are some people who rebrand because they have to. Mm-hmm. Bad, stigma, whatever the case may be. There's some people who they just evolve, you know what I'm saying? Which is why I was saying before, I never intentionally rebranded. I evolved as an entrepreneur. I got more mature. I realized that certain things are more important than other things, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a relationship now, you know what I'm saying? All these different things change you as a person, as a human being, as a man. So I never looked at it man, event space, I'm not really trying to do that no more. Man, I'm going into this. I know it was that. It was just me growing as an entrepreneur and seeing what's important.
But you can, if you want to. If you want to say event spaces, I don't want to do it anymore. I think as humans who are entrepreneurs, we have the right to change our mind without 100%. It requiring this big explanation. Now, just because you changed your mind and say, I don't want to be responsible for brick and mortars, event spaces anymore, it doesn't mean that for somebody else who is in the position where they want one, it's not still a great idea. You're in that space where you want one. I've grown, I've evolved. I no longer want to own the event space, but I know the framework for it. So I'll teach you how to do it. 100%. That's the space that I'm in right now. And I think sometimes in the world of entrepreneurship versus consumers, it looks like, well, if you're not doing it, then it must not work. No, I did it and I did it well and I don't want to do it anymore, but I know how to do it. And what I'd rather do at this point is teach a whole bunch of people how to do it. And it's 100% okay for me to gain wealth doing that, because that's just where I am right now. And in 5 years, you might say, I really miss having these event spaces. I really miss that energy. And you might come back to it. It doesn't mean that something is wrong. It just means that as you evolve, your interests are changing. And the beauty about entrepreneurship and the way it looks today is that we're really building businesses that don't need to be highly committal. You're committed to it for as long as you want to.
Yeah. I think that it's important that this isn't like, Coach, I don't know, because you're a successful entrepreneur, but I think it's important to push the growth or push the narrative, like how people need to see you. So until today, I didn't know you were going in that space, and maybe I'm not on social media like that, but I think for the people that are listening, it takes a committed effort to show the world who I want you to recognize me as right now. So I think Neil does a great job right now. You'll see it. He used to do marketing, tip, bar. And now he's doing a lot of pictures with him and his family, him and his wife.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of it now.
Yeah,
right?
Just to kind of like kind of stem off of that, like a big thing that I do now is like I don't know if you ever see those videos where like people like, you know, like kind of like hand out money or buy gifts or something like that. I started doing a lot more of those, but it wasn't for like a self-indulgent perspective. It was more so like, this is just what I want to do now. You know what I'm saying? Because like I realized that I have my business page, and like if you into that, then you go over there. You know what I'm saying? This is my personal brand. This is my personal page. And I'm gonna talk about what's important to me. So like, for example, like I want to show people, like one of the biggest things for me was that like everybody shows their wealth differently. Like you said, lifestyle marketing might not be a thing. Like for me, like I'm not big bust down chain, ironically, but like I'm not big like bust down chains, Lamborghinis, like, you know, all the women bottle popping. Like I don't do that stuff. Yeah. And if I did that and I showed that on Instagram, I'd be lying to you. I just don't do that. I enjoy, you know, like spreading my wealth and helping other people. Like, for example, like before I moved to Atlanta, like I gave this one girl like a whole bunch of like stuff for her e-commerce business because I met her at a fair. And I'm just like, I think this would help you. Like I gave her like a whole bunch of like wrapping paper and like packaging because I'm just like I want to see you grow. And like I literally like coached her for free for like an hour, like just standing there. But I'm just like, that's important to me because I remember when I was a 22-year-old entrepreneur and I had nobody. Like I would literally call people and they would just be like, I'm sorry, I don't want to give up my secrets. And that hurt me. So like if I can help other people in whichever way I can, obviously I have to make a living too. And but like if I can give out as much information as possible, and then like, you know, there are people who want more information, that's cool. But if I could just like that's my part in the world. Yeah. So like for example, I went to Colombia, I gave a waitress $1,000 tip, you know. I went into, you know, my Bed-Stuy where, you know, close to where I'm from.
You need some water, B?
I got one.
Because I can serve if you're giving out $1,000 tips. You want?
Oh, you feel me?
I mean, your thirst is my pleasure.
I started looking on the corners of my mouth. Like, is he looking
like your thirst is my pleasure. But and then my Cash App is.
I'm dead. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like the cool thing about money is that you can really have impact with it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be completely honest, like $1,000 tip is like, it's not gonna make or break me. Like respectfully, it's not. But in Colombia, that's a 3-month salary. Mm. You know what I'm saying? Like she literally cried. And I'm just like, bro, that's so dope that I've been able to work hard enough to be able to do something like that and not kill myself. Like I don't gotta worry about paying rent. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I did that, you know? Yeah. I went to Bedford-Stuyvesant. I met a dude. He was selling water. You know, I bought him a pair of sneakers right then and there. I'm just like, bro, like you stand on your feet all day. Here's a fresh pair of sneakers. Went back, bought out all his water, sent him home. I was like, bro, how much water you got? He's like, probably like $200 worth. Boom, did it. Hand them out to the city. Boom, 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 boom. Like that stuff is dope to me.
Yeah.
Like,
but you're doing it because you just want to do it, right?
I do it because I want to do it. And I love to see other entrepreneurs win. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I'm not trying to like, you know, like, sell nobody or nothing like that, but like, you know, anybody could like kind of like, you know, sit down, hold up a cup and stuff like that. Like, you know, if you do what you got to do, you feel what I'm saying? But like somebody who's really out here trying and they just really need like a little leg up, like I rock with you for that. Yeah. You're committed and I'm committed to you for that. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? I like that. And if I can help you in any which way I can, I'm gonna help you.
Yeah. I mean, I think that we have to. So here's the thing. I love that. And it's beautiful, right? I think especially amongst the three of us, we're all silently always doing something really dope. But I don't want people to feel like that they have to do that, right? I don't want people to feel like they owe the world to do X, Y, and Z in that way, like the $1,000 tips and buying the shoes. And I think that once we create a certain level of abundance, meaning extra, more than enough, I think it's all our responsibilities to contribute in some way, but the way that contribution looks could be very different for everybody.
100%. I think the way I'm like even seeing this conversation is, I guess my question is, how important is it to push the narrative of who you are doing these things intentionally? Not saying, okay, I'm gonna get this person $1,000, but hey, turn the camera on first. But the way I'm seeing my brand is, what can I do or what can I create? What type of campaign can I create to paint a picture in people's minds about who I am? If my thing is, I want to become more philanthropic, I might be at a drive-through, and every time I'm at a drive-through, I'm going to record myself saying, I don't know, hey, how much is the person behind me? Let me pay. And I start pushing this narrative of everybody should do this.
Right.
And when people start to see me, they're like, oh, that's the guy that does this particular thing, right? So right now I'm just in a season of, I want to have real transparent conversations, because quite honestly, bro, I hate the way I post on social media right now. We're gonna take a cool clip out of this interview and we're gonna post it. I just don't like it anymore. It's what everybody's doing. We're trying to create something that inspires or motivates and educates, and we're hoping that other people are gonna share it and engage with it.
Yeah.
And I hate it. There has to be something else, but I do know that something else is coming. Like, these clips of you just posting something cool or inspirational is going to go out the window, and it's going to make it harder. There's a wave of you become popular by doing all the dancing and the trends and stuff like that. I think it's still a thing right now. I'm always thinking from a branding perspective, how can I do something that's going to be an announcement, but not just one time, but create a campaign around it? You know what I mean? So I'm helping podcasters, and I tell people I'll do a coaching session, but it's only about podcasting, and it has to be in the studio. I'm not doing it Zoom. So it's not about the money, but all of the things that I look at it as a board, and I wrote it down. I said, okay, Podcast King, what are the things that have to be created to make this true? And what are the narratives that have to create? So that's from a branding perspective. I think we just do what we do, but we're not thinking, what is the picture that we can paint in the minds of other people about what we do through some sort of consistent campaign or action?
So are you saying also, like, if it's truly who you are, to tip the waitress $1,000 or do X, Y, and Z, it's okay to post that kind of stuff on social?
Yeah, I think it's okay or not okay. I'm just saying, if you want to build a brand, you need to be intentional about this being a movement or a wave, not just I did it today.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, every time I do.
Right.
All right, y'all, I'm in line again at the basketball game. What y'all think? Should I pay for the person in front of me or behind me? No. And that's the thing that I do. And I guarantee you, if you do that often enough, people will see you at a game and say, no, I want to be behind you. The Dorito Dave thing, bro. Every single speaking gig I got over those 2-year periods, they gave me the check. I take the check, but it always came with a bag of Doritos because that's the narrative that I pushed. Some people like it, some people don't.
You like Doritos?
Huh?
You like Doritos?
You know, I love Doritos, first off. You know what stopped me from doing that? I saw What the Health and I went vegan for like 3 days. And I was like, I can't eat this garbage. And then I tried to do it with like some vegan snacks. It wasn't the same, and I lost my momentum. So
I thought
3 days.
Doritos, one of the flavors fit into a vegan diet. One of the flavors.
I saw What the Hell. First off, you can't eat none of that stuff.
That's a fact, because it still got that diphosphate, chloroquine, and donna in it.
It got the red 40.
It got the red. It got red dot number 25.
Yeah, well, the red 40 is something that my wife don't want to give our kids at all. It's like
fruit punch and all. No,
it got red 40.
Can't do it. Yeah. Can't do it whatsoever.
But yeah, killed my momentum.
I too hate the way that I'm posting on social media right now. So let me tell you really what I'm not liking.
Talk to me.
So I too am not liking the way I'm posting on social media right now. And I am in this space, like, I'm constantly in the space of what's the new thing that I can do. So like, I had gotten into this space where all I wore was athleisure wear, and you saw me very casual. You see me in hoodies. Like, in the winter, you're gonna see me in hoodies all winter. But when the spring and summers pop out, I'm back to, like, that's where I thrive. That's where my fashion sense thrives. So what's funny is, as you get these new followers throughout the winter, then when the summer comes, everybody thinks like, oh, she must have done X, Y, and Z because Donnie's popping out now, right? And I'm like, no, you're just new here. What I'm experiencing now, there's two people specifically who are like duping my life, right? And
who?
I'm not. You know who.
I know. You told
know
me,
who.
but
You saw
when you
it.
say duping your life, what do you mean exactly?
Yo, I got two people on me heavy. Every move I make, they're right behind me, right? Doing the exact same stuff, down to calling themselves and speaking publicly about themselves in the exact language that I speak about myself, down to taking some of my brand names. Like, I could push a trademark situation if I want to, but I'm just trying not to be
What's the
petty,
name that
right?
somebody took?
Not gonna go there. But I got
I got an IP attorney if you need.
yeah, well, maybe. I think I have one.
Okay.
So the thing is, instead of me being petty and saying, cease and desist, I'm just like, okay, what now can I create or do for you to copy? Because you're going to keep. So there are people who really, and it's not just me, they look to, and this is why when I'm coaching or when I'm teaching, it's really about discovering your authentic gifts. Because it's one thing to be, I'm flattered when someone is inspired by me that actually is qualified to go and do what I do. Mm-hmm. But when you ain't qualified and you're just taking like the front page view of what I do and you're trying to do it too, I'm not flattered by that.
Do you say something? Hold on. Pause it. Do you think she should say something to the people that are stealing everything she does? What do you think?
I mean, if it's clearly noticeable, yeah, I would address it.
Is it clearly noticeable, Dave?
I didn't notice it until you said it. Until you said something, because I don't pay attention to those two people.
Is it cease and desist worthy?
Once I brought it to your attention, is it clearly noticeable?
Yeah.
Is it cease and desist worthy?
Oh, all right.
No, it's not even. Let's take that off the table, right?
Okay.
Because I'm not going to issue a cease and desist. The issue is having to, or the conversation is having to constantly reinvent yourself. You got these people on your feet, but the people that I'm specifically talking about are not qualified to copy me. There's some of y'all who are qualified to copy me and do it, because if I'm inspiring you and you have this skill set, I don't mind it. Just, shout me out, give me credit. But there are a couple of people who had nothing else going on for themselves, and in order to create an identity, they have attached themselves to me.
Nah, I leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Don't say anything.
Nah, leave it alone. It's like, all right, cool. Like,
it's like every time I say, oh yeah, y'all, I'm this, 2 posts later, they that too. Every time I wear a different sneaker, 2 weeks later, they're wearing that sneaker too. Every time I talk about doing X, Y, and Z in my business, they're doing it too. You think it's a coincidence?
Could be.
You think it's a coincidence?
Ooh. I don't know in this situation. Maybe you inspire people. Like, why wouldn't they want to do what you're doing?
Come on, like, yes.
I don't think it's. Here's the thing.
No. Hold on. Yes, I inspire people. And yes, I love inspiring people. Like, my life is literally, I am the voice of hope. I want to inspire you. I want you to do what I do if you're qualified to do it. But wearing your hair like me, dressing like me, like completely changing how you wear your hair to wear your hair like me, completely changing how you dress to dress like me, starting a business that you ain't ever been in and you're not qualified to be in, because I do it, like, that's not flattering.
Yeah. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Sure.
No, it's not. I think
so.
No, imitation is, sometimes imitation
you're
is
worth imitating.
That's true. But sometimes imitation is annoying, and it's like, if you imitate a piece of it, cool. If you copy a piece of it, cool. But it's like every freaking move I make, are y'all gonna let up?
Donnie, this is the cost of fame.
Yeah,
I'm not fame. This is
you want to be an inspiration, and you teach people.
You are on the Social Proof podcast.
I teach people what it is that I do, but the difference is I actually train and develop people to do it in a way that is authentic to them. I'm not talking about all the other people who want to be coaches and they're inspired by me and they're using the type of systems that I'm using and they're copying my funnels. I don't care about that. That's business. I am talking about people who are literally changing everything about them and they're becoming little Donnies. That's not flattery to me. It's creepy.
I mean, even if you do change what you got going on, they're just gonna copy that too. So you may as well just like.
But
Yo,
I feel like
listen.
now I got to make it like it got to be bigger and it got to be harder to duplicate.
That's the thing.
It got to be bigger and harder
That's
to
the thing.
duplicate.
That's what I'm, I 100%, that whole hot seat concept, someone's taking that.
I'm taking
For
it.
sure.
Can I be on the next one?
You want to?
No. I don't want to be a guest. I want to be like, no. I don't want to be a guest. Let me clear that up. I don't want to
Let's
be
change
a
the set.
guest.
Let's go
Listen,
another room.
I am creative with these questions, bro. It's wild.
No. I wanted to be like, I wanted to be in the interviewer seat, co-interviewer
You know what
seat.
I was thinking about, like just having like different guests, people doing it, but for right now I'm just going.
I feel you. You're establishing it. I feel.
Yeah. But I know somebody's gonna take it. One, it's just too easy to do. It's attractive,
100%.
and like it's not like it's just I just have an idea.
I low key want to try it for. I
Bro,
give credit.
but I expect it. But that does put a fire under me and say, okay, I gotta keep
Iterating.
like building this thing because somebody's gonna take the idea and run with it, and it's gonna be on TV.
Do you have you experienced anybody like speaking like you, dressing like you?
Yeah, my whole career.
You're
You see this
one
man's
person,
swag.
every single thing. You know, one
100%.
person.
And they join every program that I'm in. They comment
And
on
they
every,
co- but did they copy
like
everything?
it. They try.
You liked it?
Yes.
Dave, I have heard you complain before.
When?
I can't tell you exactly when, but I have
you
for
can't.
sure heard you say something. It's not flattering.
No, I wouldn't call it flattering, but do I care? No. I tell people on the morning meetup, if I say something that you really, really like, repost it, put in your own words. I
That's
don't care.
very different. So I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about that kind of stuff at all. I'm talking. I'd have to actually call these people out for you to understand what I'm talking about. And I'm not doing that. For clarity, I am not talking about people who are simply inspired by you and they're just doing things and you inspire them so
I wanna
much.
be you.
I'm talking about people who are, one of them specifically is dangerously trying to live my life. The other one is just
Let them try.
weird.
It's going to be impossible. It's going to be impossible. It's cute. You know what I mean?
It is. And I get that. I'm speaking on it today saying it's annoying. It really is annoying.
Say so to it.
I just did. It's annoying because I know you're watching it. You're looking for something else to talk about. They're going to be wearing these too next.
Nice shoes. You know what I mean? Okay. Well,
That's Donnie's petty moment for the day.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
In your, I guess, are you going to go through a rebranding or are you just doing something different?
In terms of
Because you were saying, this is my event space, this is how I make money.
right.
Your conversation now isn't,
I was in event space brick and mortar for 5 years.
so that's the conversation. I did that part already.
Yeah.
Let me show you how to do what I've done,
Yeah.
not what I'm doing necessarily.
Right. Yeah. And I have. If anybody doesn't believe me, look at my track record.
But do you think it's important to intentionally make this transition in the eyes of people?
I think it's important to intentionally disclose it
Yeah.
for sure.
But nobody's gonna. I mean, most people aren't gonna see the disclosure. Like you said, you gave away your course. I didn't see it.
Is that still available?
Yeah.
For free?
100%.
Tell people where to get it.
Go on YouTube, just YouTube Billionaire. This one. You can go on YouTube Billionaire B. There's an entire free event space and throne rental course free of charge. You don't even have to opt in. Go right ahead.
Hey, Kay, grab that joint for our space.
Get
in
it,
there.
Dave.
Go right ahead.
Bree, grab it. 'Cause
And
We're about to buy another building.
In the link. But I think just unsolicited advice. Is that how you say it? Unsolicited?
unsolicited
Yeah.
is a word. Can you spell it real quick?
UNSOC.
Nope. All right.
Solicited?
You
Yeah,
skipped
do
the
it
L.
one more time. No, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
SOLICT.
No.
No.
What?
So forget that.
At least you can say it. though.
Unsolicited advice. I think if you're moving into this new space, and again, I'm not a branding expert, just my boy talking to my boy. I think you need to come up with a strategy to intentionally show people this is who you are now.
How would I do that?
I mean, if you're going to create a campaign of going to different event spaces, or like Marcus Lemonis, we never seen him talk about his own business.
Camping World?
Huh?
Camping World?
No, Marcus Lemonis. You know what I'm talking about? The prophet.
Yeah, that's his business, Camping World.
I seen mad episodes, never saw it. But what he did was he went to all these other businesses.
The prophet,
and
yeah.
I became a fan of him being the person that goes to fix other people's businesses. And
Right.
he clearly knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's breaking down the numbers. He's restructuring employees, all that kind of stuff. But
I do that.
I think
I do that.
But intentionally saying this is the campaign that I'm on. So that's my point, I guess. We need to, as entrepreneurs, especially if we're branding, we need to go on certain campaigns where you can identify me with this particular action that I'm doing on a regular basis. Like you're the person that walks up to every event space. It's not open right now, or I'm looking through, all right, so this is what I see about this event space. And you know that I'm the coach. I'm never in my own event space saying, these are the floors that I use.
Right.
But you can go and identify everybody else's floor. Oh, that's going to be about $3 a square.
So I guess in a way I am doing that because for every client of ours that opens up a space, we personally go out there and I do exactly what you just mentioned. So I have about 3 videos up already that do exactly that. And then going forward, every single client that opens up a space, like I just had a client open one up in Detroit, Michigan, I'm gonna be going out there. So we do intentionally do
get
that.
100 of them. I'm saying if you are intentional about this being a campaign, it's because you just do what you do.
Right.
You're good at it, right? But if you get your team together and say, all right, y'all, this is what we have mad conversations. Like I don't want to do it, but I've talked about it. I want to go out and talk to homeless people about entrepreneurship. But when I sit them down, it's not like, let's go out one day. It's, I want to go on this campaign where this is what we do and this is what we start putting out to the world. Because I want to be able to attach myself to something in people's minds intentionally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, and he's right, because right now you're known as an event space owner.
Right.
Yep.
So you have to introduce the new offer. And sometimes I guess maybe that could, to your point, also be a rebrand, because you have to reintroduce yourself.
Yeah.
And put it out there like, I'm no longer the event space owner, I'm the event space expert.
Yep. 100%.
We're thinking about buying. Speaking of, there's a building down the street that we're thinking about buying. I'm actually going there right after this. You should come and tell me what your ideas would be.
Yeah, absolutely. I got you.
Want to go?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, right now.
So let's talk about it. You want to talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
So it's a venue not far from here, a building not far from here. It is 1,800 square feet.
That's it?
Yes. So it's in an office complex, and it's the floor of a building. So it's like a 3-story building, and we're going to buy 1 floor of it. First
You
of
can
all,
do that?
huh?
You can do that?
Yeah.
Buy 1 floor of a building?
Yeah. So
Buy.
It's like a condo
Yeah,
building. You
it's-
buy 1 condo.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
they have those in New
Never
York
seen
too.
that in New York, bro?
Nah.
That's not true.
Nah, I'm not saying it's not. I just never seen
Bro,
that.
the building that you sold to somebody else, isn't that
Same
like
thing.
one?
She's in a building.
Yeah.
She bought
No.
one
We sold
door.
the business. She's still paying rent for that.
Right, but the person who owns that space probably owns that space, and somebody else owns all the rest of the stuff.
No.
They
One
own them.
owner owns the entire property.
Word?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
I sold the business and she continued out my lease.
Which is hard, actually.
Yeah.
But that was good.
That was it.
was a
That's
good idea.
really hard. Meaning we could do stuff. So anyway, there's I think it's a 3-story building, and around back in the basement, I guess, of this building, there is, and it's not even the whole floor, it's half of the floor, it's 1 suite,
Yeah, it's a suite.
basically, that we're buying. And it's 1,800 square feet, or we're putting an offer on today. In fact, it's 1,800 square feet. The current owner recently renovated, like in 2020 or something like that. It's a basic renovation. It's workable right now, but I think we would go in there and probably move a couple of walls out of the way because it's to her taste. And we are thinking of making it an office space. We could make it an event center, but like for workshops and things like that, I would love to get your professional opinion on what we want to do. The idea is to buy another building that can cash flow immediately, so it can help us offset some of the costs on the major renovation project that we have going on that's going to cost us almost 7 figures.
And they want $250,000 for the space.
For this 1,800 square foot spot?
$250,000.
And it's nearby here in Chambly?
Yeah, we're gonna go. It's like less than 10 minutes
idea,
away.
But Dottie, she was talking about like, yo, I don't want to pay that. And I'm like, all right, I was thinking maybe 200. And Donnie's like 180. And I honestly couldn't bring myself to text the lady because I still want the lady to like me. Like
I mean, if your
off,
offer is not low enough for you to not get a response and it wasn't low enough.
for sure. But Donnie, she was like, give me the number, I'll do it. So she told the lady the number, and that's what's up.
I called her yesterday.
180.
I hit Dave and said, yo, what's up with the property? We gonna get it or not? He's like, I ain't been able to bring myself to asking for $70,000 less than asking. That's exactly what I said.
Bro. Like,
I said, you're a little wuss.
You could out here, you can out entrepreneurs, but you can't tell a realtor $70,000.
You can't negotiate for yourself, but you can put entrepreneurs in the hot
somebody
seat.
could put me in the hot seat and they'd
And you would
flame me up.
fold?
It's the concept. It's the concept.
You would fold, boy.
You would.
I don't know how I fold because I have great answers. But yeah, I just didn't.
Anyway, so I called the lady right after church, in fact. Praise God. I called her right after church and I'm like, hey, we are interested in, now the way I framed it was, we are interested in putting an offer in on this property. I'm gonna be honest with you. David sees more potential in this property than I do. So I told him if we do this, I'm only willing to do 180.
Bad cop. I like that.
I'm only willing to put in an offer for 180. Will you write this up? She's like, yeah, I'll write it up for you. And she didn't sound like wasting my time. She eagerly sent the checklist. She has eagerly followed up. She literally just texted me now. Like, I can show it to you. She literally, so it's promised. Like, the building that we bought during the height of whatever was when it was listed, because it was listed for a couple of years.
Yeah.
The price that we got it for is hundreds of thousands of dollars cheaper.
But let me tell you how it happened. So they had it listed for $1.5 million. And I'm talking to
How much did we get it for?
$975.
Okay.
But I was talking to my boy. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, I told him last year, yo, I give him $1 million right now. Take it back to him. Because that's my guy. You know what I mean? Me asking the owner directly, it would have been more nerve-wracking.
You should feel more confident. You talking to the boss.
No. I'd rather talk to my boy. He's the person in between the person, and I have a relationship with him.
See, I'm the opposite. I feel bad like lowballing like my peoples.
But
Well,
it ain't his
it's
building.
not
He's
his
just a
building.
realtor.
He lucks up and gets the commission if this works.
Oh,
right?
he's a realtor.
But
Okay,
what
okay,
I'm
okay.
saying is, in that case, what's that, $600,000 almost that we got the property less than, and I just came on the back end like, yo, I found a property. This is how much it costs. This is how much money you need to bring to the table. Cool, let's get it. In that case, when I see transactions like that happen, that's been marked down more than $500,000. It says to me a $70,000 ask is small.
Yeah, 100%.
And the most
something about it.
we're going to end up closing right around 198 to 202 for sure. But we're not going to close at that if we offered 200.
I
have a question,
I
though.
like it. That's what a partnership is for.
So I know like the plans is to offset the cost of this the bigger project that y'all got going on.
That's one of the things.
Okay, because I was concerned. Like I know y'all got like a spot like in this building, right? Like a
This so again, we just bought a nearly $1 million property that's going to require a nearly $1 million renovation.
Oh, bro.
We need streams coming from everywhere.
Okay,
This alone won't cash flow. One.
why not?
For one thing, David and I are not partners on this building. So we can't take all of the money from this building and put it to the building that we are partners on, right?
Oh, this is all.
David owns this building. Okay. So it would be unreasonable to say, oh, Dave, all the money that you make from
Take all
this
the money.
building, let's put it on that. So we have property ownership together, and we're trying to find other streams that will help offset.
Okay.
The other thing, Dave, you made a really good point when we were on the tour. We have people right now, like this space is usually overbooked for the main revenue streams. We have people right now that are saying, hey, I need space. Like I want my own dedicated space. They can't have this.
Dedicated space in terms of like
For podcasting or office
studio.
use and things like that. They can't have these. These are rented by
Like
the
suites.
hour or day.
Correct.
Suites.
Okay.
Yes. So that said, it's like, let's find a solution right now. And then even offer them maybe the first opportunity to move into the new building.
100%.
So we're just trying to really it's not even, as I think through it, that particular building, unless we find a model, and B, you can help us with this, unless we find a model that's hourly or daily, it's not really going to it's not going to generate enough cash flow to really even help us with the Cleveland Avenue property. But it will be another asset that we own. Who knows? We may be able to flip it in a year or whatever, but it'll bring in a couple of dollars.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We in
1800.
the field.
We need street. So we're basically buying a condo of,
Right, no, I get it.
of a building.
Yeah, 1,800 square feet is definitely on the lighter side in terms of commercial space for that. So, I mean, the different avenues you have, like obviously the event space, and then you could go into like the salon suite model, which is like, you know, like you said, like, you know, maybe hairdressers, podcast people, whatever, like however you kind of want to outfit it. But that is like a strenuous hustle. Like I don't
Yeah.
like that model at
Well,
all.
we have, so like right now, those rooms that are in the front, we rent those on a regular basis for
The ones right here, right?
Yeah, like somebody wants to come in and shoot a podcast, or somebody will come in and say, we need your team to shoot it, which is more expensive.
Right.
So we can like, people need studio space.
Right,
You know
100%.
what I mean? Because people want to have their own, they don't want to like set up, break down, like that. And if we have a space that we can customize, we can come set up for their show breakdown and create some sort of revenue model or some sort of pricing for you. Like say you have your own branding, right? And you don't own this studio, but every Tuesday you're gonna come here and shoot. By the time you get here, it's set up. We shoot it, break it down, we do all that work, but it's a revenue source for us. So Donnie came up with this idea saying right now our mortgage is $3,300
$3,300
For here.
on the 15,000
No,
square
no,
feet.
for the building we own together, the 15,000 square foot
For
building.
the Cleveland one?
Yes,
Okay.
our mortgage is $3,300.
Yeah. So her idea was let's find an asset to at least take care of the mortgage
Of the
on that,
mortgage.
so that we don't have to pay it ourselves. Which I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah.
genius.
If it's 3,300, that's light.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could pay that in either 1 to 2 events, or if you want to go the salon suite route, it's definitely much more of a hustle though, I'm not gonna lie.
So we're not going the salon suite route in that space particularly because I don't
the
even
creator suite, sorry.
think, a suite route. But I even think so. As I'm sitting here listening and talking through it, would it be a higher cash flow potential if we did like a content space where you're
100%.
doing it hourly versus not necessarily podcast only, but maybe a room for podcasters, but different spaces where we create different walls and, you know, you can rent the space out and create your content. And I know somebody's going to say it's a bunch of those spaces available, but it's not a bunch of those
really.
spaces being owned by David and Donnie.
Yeah.
And I think that with our brand, people are just going to want to come there
Yep.
specifically. And there's not a bunch of those spaces who understand how to really do it well. There are some. I shoot at some often, but I'm thinking that might even be a better model.
Do you know what Peerspace is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you looked at the rates on Peerspace in this area?
No, not for this building, but
Hey, we don't get a lot of Peer Space love, do we? Kinda. It's been coming in.
So what are the point
Oh,
of
first off, shouts out to my beautiful wife, okay? Because once she got into she's handling the whole bookings and all that kind of stuff, and she brought in a couple dollars.
I love
she
it.
going crazy. She doing tours and all that. I'm like, okay, boo.
Oh, is that what she's doing?
Yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
Are you paying her for it?
Yeah. Okay, so we're getting more
fast
activity?
More, but we still get more bookings through Honey Booking, Gigster than Peerspace.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
there's a ton of those Event Active, Wedding Wire, not Honeybook, but Honeybook is just the CRM platform. Gigster, Splacer, Peerspace. What I was just gonna say is that like before you even go into that, you can in real time see what those spaces typically go for. Obviously, you can inflate the numbers because you have a personal brand, but like that's one of the biggest things that we always do when somebody comes into our program is do something called the MCA. It's market comp analysis, and actually I have a software coming out that's going to automate the entire process. But with that, you'll be able to see in real time, like, all right, cool, how many bookings will I justly have to get with this level of input to pay that $3,300 a month? And it may or may not be worth it to you. You know what I'm saying? But at least it'll give you a true indication of what you'll kind of be putting in. Because like I can kind of walk you through what that typically look like. Typically, Peerspace, Gigster, Splacer, things like that. It's events, production, or office, like meetings and stuff like that. Those are the general 3 categories. Y'all are obviously probably looking at production and events, right? When it comes down to production, you have subcategories of like film, movie, podcast, audio, things of that nature. Typically, people pay for those per hour, like you said, and it's a lot of turnover. that's a headache. Like you're gonna need somebody like, you know, your amazing office assistant to come and facilitate all that. So that's why I'm saying, like, with all that being said, like you really got to see if it's worth it, because it's gonna be a lot of turnover, a lot of wear and tear, a lot of back and forth and things like that to do 3,300. Not to say it's not impossible or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's 6 offices, I think, already set up, and you know that maybe because we're going to take down, I know, one wall at least. Even if we say rent it to someone for 3 people for $1,000 a month to do whatever it is that they do, that covers the mortgage, and we still have 3 other spaces available. We can still put one space in there where someone could come in and do small workshops for now. You know, things like
tough.
that.
Yeah.
So
and having a space that we can provide a service for, and worst case scenario, like we'll use it for whatever we gonna do.
well, I need an office. Okay,
Yeah, for sure.
I can use the whole 1,800 square feet actually.
Right.
So
Actually, you can rent it from us.
I could rent it from us if it comes down to that. I could rent it from us.
That's tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just once you like play with the numbers and like it makes sense, like especially with the retainer clients, I think that's a great idea.
That's it right there. Let's just do that.
The retainer
And,
clients. Yeah.
We're gonna make some money.
We're gonna make some money.
100%.
Look,
We're
one thing
entrepreneurs,
David
man.
and I gonna do is make some money.
Look, Brian, you did anything you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about? You want to share?
Me personally, I'm just happy to be back here with y'all, man.
Yeah. How long you been with your girl?
Damn, why you?
Well, actually,
bad, I
he
thought it was
said
in the hot
his
seat,
life
my
partner. His life partner. But how long have you been with your life partner?
Oh, we make 2 years in October.
2 years.
Yeah.
What made her your life partner?
Why you doing me like this
First of
right
all,
now? This
here-
is the Social Proof Podcast.
Well, prove something.
Yeah.
When you started dating her almost 2 years ago, at the very beginning, were you dating other women?
Oh, I was like dibbling, dabbling. Not like heavy though.
Did you have to have some
Dibbling,
conversations with
dabbling.
some people like to cut some stuff off?
No. Just
You just went ghost?
Hey, Brian. First off, when I met my wife, I wasn't dibbling or dabbling.
okay.
Okay. That was the only thing. I didn't even date nobody before.
He
my wife.
was on Tinder.
My wife is the first person I've ever dated my entire life.
Okay.
That's how you answer that.
Brian, you were dibbling and dabbling. Were
Yeah,
there
I mean,
any-
it was very, 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 very.
Well,
very
what does a
short-lived.
dibble and a dabble look like?
So, I mean, the best way I could kind of phrase it is just like, you know, obviously I didn't know that I would meet my now girlfriend at that time. So like I had other situations pre-existing, but like once I realized that this is something that I want to dedicate all my attention to, I dropped that.
Well, and so the drop, what's the SOP on that?
What's the SOP on that? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the objective of that position
Yeah.
is to no longer communicate with pre-existing relationships in order to fulfill your contractual obligations with your now.
Do you call them and let them know, or you just ghost?
Right. So here's a step-by-step protocol on that, right? So
Love a
basically,
good ghost.
it goes into 2 categories. You have your roster, right?
Okay.
And then you have your significance.
Okay,
Right?
okay,
So the roster you don't really need to have a conversation with. The roster is just more so like, you don't hear from me, that's what's up.
I
Like,
think it's all a roster. You have your starters.
True,
and
true,
You have your
true,
bench.
true,
You have your starters
true.
and your bench.
True. Right. You have your all-star players and you have your bench.
Yeah, because
right?
you don't gotta explain to the bench why they're not playing right now. It's like you don't have to- yeah, for
Exactly.
sure,
That's
for
my
sure.
point. You feel what I'm
They
saying?
show up, just wear the jersey just because.
Exactly. You feel what I'm
Hey,
saying?
whenever you want to put me in,
You feel
I'm
me?
here.
So you don't really got to explain to the bench that this is what it is. Like, you know what it is. But like your all-star team, you kind of have to like maybe massage the conversation, be like, you know, you don't really got to get too direct with it. Just like more so like, you know, I'm working on some things. I got this project, woo, woo. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you, what's easiest?
We got a new
as
team captain trying
We
out
have a
right
new
now.
captain, you know. We're making some trades. You know what I'm saying?
yes.
Like,
What do you?
We're bringing
What
in
do you
some new
think is-
talent.
Easier as an entrepreneur, single or committed relationship?
it could be either or. It depends on you.
Your situation. I'm asking you.
Oh, my particular situation?
Yeah.
Definitely committed. Yeah, definitely
I think I know
committed
the
because
answer.
being.
And I don't think I can get the real answer until.
No, I'll give y'all the real answer now for sure because
Well,
the
we don't
thing-
know if it's the real answer because it's a very biased situation right now.
But I mean, you're asking my.
I know,
situation.
but I'm letting you know that I don't want to 100% believe you. Not that it's wrong.
And
okay.
we know that his girl is going to watch this episode, so he has to carefully curate how he's
No
positioning this.
curation. This is what I would say to her. Like if I was on FaceTime
Tell
right
me
now.
why.
Call her on FaceTime and say the same thing.
She sleep right now.
Dang.
Tell me why.
Why y'all being messy?
She started it first off.
You started
Why
You
is
it.
that-
actually started it.
How did I? Did I?
Yes.
All right. So why
Roll
is
the clip. Roll the
Why?
clip. Roll the clip.
why is being in a committed relationship better
For me,
for you as an entrepreneur? Yes.
because as an entrepreneur, the number one thing that's going to set you apart from success is focus. So by me only being in a monogamous relationship, I don't have to worry about hunting. I don't have to worry about being outside. I don't have to worry about
You're a hunter?
none of that.
Were you a
What?
hunter gatherer?
I'm a hunter.
You were a hunter.
I mean, like I'm when I say I'm a hunter, like that's of like the type A personality. Like
But
I
I'm
go
saying,
after.
were you
it.
a hunter gatherer before your? Did you hunt and gather your current situation?
Yeah, I mean, you have to. I'm a man. You have to. Women don't come up to guys like that. I mean, I don't know. Atlanta different.
Not
but
everybody's a hunter though.
I'm a
Nobody would describe themselves as a hunter. Like, yo, I'm going to the club and I am hunting here. I used to go to the club because I like the music. If I meet somebody great, but
Why you had to kick your feet up like that?
Yo, right? That was zesty, like, bro.
He's like, I went to the
hey,
club
quick
and
commercial
I meet somebody.
quick commercial break. Soul, what's the Instagram?
Soulbriety, SOLEBRITY. Anyway, it doesn't matter because you guys can click the Instagram
They got
link
me
in
these
this
shoes.
video. But these shoes are so hard.
Yeah. Oh, these ain't even out at the time that I'm watching them. Soulbriety 409, appreciate you, is our sneaker plug.
He is our sneaker plug. He did not plug these. These are my own understanding.
He would
and
not
I love
get those.
He would not plug these, okay? But these are hard, first of all, but those things right there. I walked in the studio today and I said, "Wow, Dave, you look nice actually."
I appreciate it. Okay. So you're a hunter.
Yeah, I go after what I want, 100%. I mean, like I did that with her. You feel me? And that was like actually the third follow up.
Really?
To get her, yeah, because we met at the gym. The first time, basically.
Shout out to athletic clubs, ladies. I keep telling y'all to go to the gym, work out. Was she working out?
Mm-hmm.
Actually work out. Be focused on your workout. It's something about a woman who's focused on her body
100%.
that men love.
100%.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm like all my young men who's working, like who's really watching this video, like on the real, like I'm gonna keep it a stat with you. The baddies, gym, Target, Starbucks. You're welcome.
That is a really good.
You're welcome.
That's,
You're
a,
welcome.
that's a really good
You're welcome.
formula.
Don't be trying to find your wife in the
Target,
club,
Starbucks.
starlets, all that. Don't be doing that. Like the gym, Target.
Did you say starlets?
Huh?
What's starlets?
Strip.
Is that the little back play? I think it's starlets like the little massage,
Oh, Starlight.
place?
No. Like never mind. We off camera.
Nah, where you?
No, is it the one where they got the
That's
back
why I know where
room?
you was
Starlets
hunting, bro.
is a strip.
It's
You
a strip
start hunting the
club.
strip club?
Oh, well, yeah.
No,
we're
I'm
talking
saying
about-
don't do that. I'm saying don't do that.
Have you ever hunted in the?
No.
So
How-
I don't necessarily agree with that. I get the overarching thought, right? But even in my 20s, like people would say, don't go to the club if you're looking for a good person. And I was like, I'm in the club. I'm a pretty good person.
Well, let's look at per
Have you
capita.
ever gone to the club? Have you ever gone to the club before?
Yeah, of course.
Would you consider yourself a good person?
100%.
So I just think that there needs to be more criteria. I think that when men specifically get in a club, they want to find the baddest chick, the most naked chick, the one who's drinking the most. Like they want to find the easy options
The easy
in the
kill.
club, the easy kill most of the time. And you got to look for the one who's going to give you a little bit of pushback and resistance, but that's not the mindset in the
I
club.
want the shy friend.
I want the shy friend. I want the one who's not saying
One
too
that don't
much.
normally do
I
this.
want the one who just bought her own drink.
Fact.
All of them in the club
Yo,
ain't
the only
normally.
thing I never went to the club looking for something serious because
Exactly.
I know I don't go to the club. I've never been in the club like that where I'm just out there all the time. And if we got together, I'm shutting that down. And it's hard for me to meet you in the club and say, you can't go to the club.
But you see, that's the thing. Like that might be her real element, and now you're trying to change the person you're
That's
trying to
what
be
I'm saying.
with.
That's
You
why I'm
feel
not
me?
finding
Or now
another
we
club.
just go to the club together.
I'm not going to the club at all.
Nah, I'm
Once
good.
you get a girl, I'm going.
I'm
we
good.
Go home.
Yeah, we staying home.
It's cool, but
We
just
go
because you get a
home.
girl doesn't mean that you can't still experience the things that brought you guys both fun at some point. Like we may not go to the club as much because now I want to go to the movies and I want to go on dinner dates. But oh look, little spot right there is popping. Let's go in here and get some music, grab a drink.
Donnie,
even
you
if
in a
it's cranberry
relationship right
juice. I am not.
When you were,
What you trying to say?
how often did you go to the club with your dude? How often?
We only went to clubs like on special occasions.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's just because I'm not a club person.
Right. That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. So, there are some people, they want to meet their person in the club because they want to go to the club.
That's that
and I wanna be
lifestyle.
there.
Yeah, that's not my
But
lifestyle.
You don't. Here's my thing on the club. Women aren't going to the club to hang out with their girls. They're going to the club to be looked at, to maybe be seen, not seen, but maybe they're hunting. They're hunter gatherers too, right? They're not just going. You could hang out with your friends and laugh and eat popcorn at the house, but I think when women go to the club, it's you're looking for something, or
Not
you're
true.
looking to be seen.
Not always true.
I'm not. There's never always.
Yeah.
Never 100%.
I mean, because there's been plenty of times I've gone into the lounge and I want the seat in the corner, like away from the crowd, but I enjoyed the environment. Like, where can you really go these days? I'm a music is my first love. And I love being in an environment with music playing loudly. So I'm not necessarily in the club. And I like all music, trap music, hood music, street music, ratchet music. I want R&B. I want it all, right?
Yes.
So there are times where I could just go and sit in the corner. I love to people watch, and I just want to be in an environment of music. It makes me be really creative.
Good.
I'm not trying to be seen.
Your girl, she says, I'm not hanging out with nobody, but I want to go to the club and listen to some music by myself. Can she go?
Not by myself.
To be very honest, I probably
I'll be with friends.
I wouldn't. That would have been a tell from the beginning of the relationship, and I would be like, no.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
So she can't. So then, okay. So
That's not of
replace
her
it.
character.
No, but pretend it is. Pretend that she really loves music, and she says, like, I really just love music. Give her another option, because you can give me another
The
option.
answer's no.
She would want me to go with her.
Exactly, and that's what I just said.
But she
Go
wouldn't do
together.
that.
All right.
I want to. Well, so I
You
think
could
it's
go to
really-
a restaurant, get music, get vibes, get all of that. You don't
And
gotta go
that's
to a
fine.
club.
Restaurant with live music.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So
Go
that,
order a
all I'm
platter.
saying is give another option, not just like you can't come into the relationship and say, oh, this is where we met. I understand that you love listening to music played out loud, but nope, shut it down.
100%, I
And
agree.
then you still don't want to do any of this with me. Like,
agree.
that's you
No, I
completely
agree.
ignoring my desires. So now you can say, look, you know, ain't nothing in the club. Why don't we go to the lounge together? You got to compromise on
Yeah,
that.
no,
100%.
that's cool. I'm just saying that's not going to be that was just one of my reasons why I never wanted to meet somebody in the club to take seriously, because I don't know whether they like that environment or not.
Okay, but that's unfair, because
How's
you
it
and Dre
unfair?
met on Tinder, and
Tinder.
that's an even worse
For real?
environment to me.
That's not
that a
necessarily
worse
true.
environment?
It
That's
is,
not,
like, people
that's
are
a
looking
dating
for-
app.
It
Yeah,
is
it's
a
a dating
dating app, but people are not. You know,
You can't
there
say
are
that,
more.
though.
Nope. There are more profiles that say not interested in a commitment than there are profiles that say
For
I
sure.
am interested in a commitment.
That's the point,
So
Donnie.
that's a dating heavy app.
No, but on the dating app, it shows if you're interested, great. That's what I'm talking to.
So
if
you
you're
mean
not
to
interested,
tell me somebody couldn't meet you in the club and say, hey, look, I really don't come here often. I'm really interested in dating. Can that same thing
there's
not
no
happen?
there's no absolutes.
There-
All I'm
100%.
saying is my preference is the possibility that the person that's in the club likes going to the club. It's a high possibility, and I don't
100%.
want to
100%.
be with somebody who likes going to the club. So
For
the
sure.
app is different because it's showing exactly what you like. Oh, you're interested in meeting other people? Like I'm interested in meeting
How
other
many
people.
people did you have to scroll through before you got to that person?
people.
Yeah, so in the club, all I'm saying is don't knock somebody. I'm not a club goer.
I didn't knock
but
anybody.
don't-
I'm
yes,
telling
you
my.
kind of
I
are.
said my preference.
Right, I
don't care what y'all do, what y'all like.
But when I said my preference, or when I said something, you're like, "No, that can't happen." Don't tell me it can't happen when you're
We'd
if
have
you're
to
willing
roll
to
the
scroll
tapes.
through. Because when I'm on dating apps, I got to scroll through 100 guys before
So
I
you
find
do
one.
use dating apps.
Yeah.
okay.
I have to scroll through 100 guys before I find one that could even DM me, right? Or that I'm interested in DMing. It's the same thing in the club. I don't go to the club, but if I did, I used to go to the club, and I would like for somebody to not immediately disqualify me because I'm in a place enjoying music.
I'm not dating no thotties that be in the club. All right, so it's 11.
You
I gotta
are the
go.
thotty.
I got great conversation. Goodness gracious, it's been 90 minutes. We've been here for an hour and
Are
a
you
half.
kidding me?
So make sure y'all connect with Brian.
How be?
Yo, definitely follow
what's
me on
up?
Instagram at BillionaireB, YouTube at BillionaireB, and let's get active.
Yes, get active, okay? And
Oh,
don't
make
be-
sure y'all subscribe to the Social Proof Podcast with David and Donnie, your host of the greatest entrepreneurship podcast in the world.
And
That's
your
a
host of the
fact.
what? Say it one more
The
time.
greatest entrepreneurship podcast in the world.
One more time.
The greatest entrepreneurship
All
podcast
together.
in the
The
world.
what?
The greatest entrepreneurship podcast in the world. Absolutely. We out here.
I
Like,
don't think it's any
subscribe,
better way
y'all.
to close that.
We
We
out.
out.
Let's get it.
You said it's 25 minutes? Keep